You ever look around and realize the people you thought would be with you forever aren't? Family drifts, friends change, lovers walk away. And for a second, maybe even longer than that, you wonder what's wrong with you. But I'm here to tell you, it's not you, it's life. See, we grow up thinking loyalty means forever, that if you give your heart, your time, your truth, they'll stay. But here's the truth. Nobody owes you forever. And the sooner you stop expecting permanence in people, the sooner you start finding power in yourself. Tonight, I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I'm here to say what most are too scared to. People leave. Life shifts. But your purpose, that stays. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what happens when everyone else disappears. And all you're left with is you. When the noise dies down, when the calls stop coming, and the room gets quiet, really quiet, you'll come face to face with the one person who's been there all along. You. And in that moment, you'll realize something the world doesn't tell you soon enough. Self-reliance isn't just a backup plan. It's the foundation. It's not what you lean on when others fail. It's what holds you up, even when no one's around to watch. See, most people are taught to build their lives around people, around approval, around validation. They tie their confidence to someone else's presence, their peace to someone else's behavior. And for a while, that works. When everything's good, when everyone's there, it feels like you're walking on solid ground. But life isn't solid. Life shifts. People leave. Circumstances change. And when that happens, when the ground cracks and the crowd disappears, you better have something inside of you that doesn't fall with it. That something is self-reliance. It's waking up in the morning and knowing no matter what hits you today, you're still going to stand. It's looking in the mirror and being your own motivator, your own cheerleader, your own coach, even when the world turns silent. It's not about ego, and it's not about arrogance. It's about understanding that everything you need to make it through, to build something lasting, to rise out of setbacks, you already carry it. The most dangerous lie you'll ever be told is that you need someone else to complete you, that if they walk, you crumble, that if they don't believe in you, your dream dies, that if they stop loving you, you're no longer worthy. That's not truth. That's fear wearing the mask of love. The truth is, self-reliance doesn't mean isolation. It doesn't mean pushing people away. It means not depending on their presence for your peace. It means being rooted in something deeper. Your discipline, your character, your vision. It's building your life like a lighthouse. Strong, grounded, unwavering, no matter how dark the storm gets or how many ships come and go. Some people won't clap for you. Some people won't support you. Some will love you today and leave you tomorrow. That's human nature. That's life. But if you've trained your mind and heart to lean on yourself, to show up for yourself every day, then their exit won't be your breakdown. It'll be your breakthrough. You see, the people who make it, the ones who rise when they shouldn't, the ones who come back from loss, betrayal, heartbreak, failure, they've all mastered this one thing, self-reliance. They've stopped begging for support and started building without it. They've stopped waiting for permission and started walking in their own power. It's not easy. Self-reliance is forged in fire. It's born in late nights where you cry alone and still get up in the morning. It's built in silence, when you succeed and no one notices, when you fail and no one helps. It's developed in rejection, in loss, in abandonment. But once it's in you, once it's real, nobody can take it. People will come and go. Some will love you right, some will love you wrong, and some won't know how to love you at all. But your self-worth can't be a revolving door, changing every time someone walks in or out. You've got to be anchored, because if you don't believe in you, if you can't trust your own heart, your own hands, your own voice, how will anyone else? People talk about soulmates, about finding the one. Let me tell you something. You are the one who gets you through the darkest nights, the one who wipes your own tears and keeps walking, the one who holds on when everything falls apart. That kind of love, that kind of loyalty to yourself, that's rare, that's powerful, that's self-reliant. The world will test you. It will try to convince you that you're not enough, that you need fixing, that you should shrink to fit in. Don't listen. Walk into every room like you belong there, even if no one says you do. Chase your dreams like they already belong to you, even if nobody claps. And when you fall, and you will fall, get up like it's personal, like your future depends on it, because it does. At the end of the day, people may inspire you, but they can't live for you. They can't carry your cross or walk your path. Only you can. And once you start trusting yourself like that, once you start betting on yourself like that, life changes. Not because it gets easier, but because you get stronger. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be committed to yourself. Committed to showing up, committed to trying, failing, and trying again. Committed to loving yourself, not just when you win, but when you lose. Not just when you're strong, but when you're broken. Because self-reliance isn't a destination. It's a decision you make every single day. You may walk alone for a season. You may lose people you thought would never leave. But if you've got self-reliance, if you've got that unshakable belief in yourself, you'll never be truly alone again. You'll have the one person who matters most in your corner, you. There's a rhythm to life that we often forget. A changing of seasons, not just in weather, but in people, in purpose, in pain. Just like the trees let go of their leaves in the fall, life will ask you to let go of people, habits, and even versions of yourself. That's not failure, that's nature. Life is seasonal, and so are people. We get into trouble when we try to make temporary people permanent fixtures. We hold on to someone who was only meant to teach us something, someone who was only meant to show us a glimpse of ourselves in a moment of time. We cling, we replay memories and try to stretch moments that were never meant to last. But the truth is, some people are like spring, bringing color and growth for a short while, and then they go. That's not cruelty, that's clarity. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Some come to shake things up, some come to open your eyes, some come to show you what love is not, so you recognize it when it finally arrives. And some are just background noise in a scene you'll barely remember in a few years. But we still try to turn every character into a lifelong cast member. We're afraid to lose, afraid to be alone, afraid to move on. So we resist the change. And in doing so, we rob ourselves of the next season. Because here's the thing, you can't embrace summer while clinging to winter. You can't hold on to someone who's already moved on and expect your life to bloom. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is accept the goodbye. Let them go. Let the season shift. Let the chapter end, even if it hurts. You'll lose people who meant everything to you. You'll wake up one day and realize someone you thought would be in every photo of your future is now just a memory on your phone. That's life. That's not your fault. Some people are only meant to walk with you to the edge of the road. They weren't built to climb the mountain with you, and that's okay. We like to think we can predict who stays and who leaves. We put our trust in friends, lovers, mentors, thinking, this is it. This one's forever. But forever isn't promised. Not in relationships, not in dreams, not in life. What is promised is change, and if you're wise, you won't fear it. You'll flow with it. Think about your own story. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago. You've grown, you've stumbled, you've healed from things you thought would break you. That growth required change, and so it makes sense that the people who fit the old version of you might not fit the new one. It doesn't mean you're better than them, it means you're different now. Your season has changed, and you have to be okay with outgrowing people who are comfortable staying where you used to be. That can be hard. It can feel like betrayal. But it's not. It's evolution. Some people will want the old you forever because that version made them feel safe, powerful, or needed. When you start changing, healing, leveling up, dreaming bigger, they may feel threatened or confused, and they'll pull back. Or maybe they'll push you away. Let them. That's the season doing what it's supposed to do, separating what was from what's becoming. We often ask, why did they leave? Why did this friendship fall apart? Why did that relationship end? The better question is, what was that season trying to teach me? Every person, every connection carries a lesson. Some are beautiful, some are brutal, but none are wasted. When someone exits your life, don't just mourn the loss, study it. What did they reflect back to you? What did you learn about yourself in their presence? What did you ignore that you shouldn't have? What did you value that you need to carry forward? Seasons aren't just about endings, they're about preparation. Fall strips the trees not to punish them, but to make room for rest. Winter isn't death, it's dormancy, a quiet time to gather strength for the next bloom. If life is pulling people away, if things are falling apart, maybe it's not the end. Maybe it's the pruning before the growth. Maybe it's life clearing the path for what's next. And here's a truth most people avoid. Sometimes you're the one who's seasonal in someone else's life. You were there for a purpose, a reason, a lesson. You brought light to a dark place, or you were the mirror they didn't want to face. And once your season was complete, you had to go. That's nothing to feel guilty about. That's part of the cycle too. So stop holding yourself hostage to relationships that have expired. Stop trying to fix what no longer fits. You're not here to collect people. You're here to become whole. And the people meant to walk with you in your next season, they won't have to be convinced. They'll show up. They'll match your pace. They'll water your growth instead of resenting it. Life is a constant turning of pages, a shifting of tides. You cannot stop the seasons, but you can stop resisting them. Trust the rhythm. Trust the letting go. Trust that when people exit, it's not always a loss. It's often alignment. You don't have to force anyone to stay. You just have to be brave enough to keep going when they leave. Because life is seasonal. So are people. And the ones who are meant to be there for the long haul, they'll survive every season with you. Until then, keep growing, keep moving, and never be afraid to turn the page. Pain has a way of teaching you things that comfort never will. Presence is easy. When everyone's around, when the love is flowing, when life is smooth, it's easy to feel strong. It's easy to feel whole. But take that away, strip away the smiles, the support, the company, and that's when the lessons start. That's when pain steps in as the most honest teacher you'll ever have. Nobody likes pain. Nobody signs up for heartbreak, betrayal, loss, or failure. But it's those exact moments, the quiet, the lonely, the broken ones, that sharpen your vision. Pain forces you to see what presence often blinds you to. It shows you who you are when no one's looking, when there's no applause, no audience, no warm hand to hold, just you and the echo of your own thoughts. And it's in that silence that the truth rises. When you're surrounded by people, you can forget to listen to yourself. You can drown in distraction, avoid the questions that matter. But pain strips away the noise. It makes you face the mirror without filters. It makes you sit in the wreckage and ask, who am I really? What matters when nothing else is left? That kind of clarity only comes when comfort leaves the room. Presence, while beautiful, can also be misleading. People can be next to you physically but absent emotionally. They can cheer for you and still not understand you. You can be in a room full of friends and still feel alone. That's why pain is so honest. It doesn't fake it. It doesn't smile for the camera. Pain tells the truth even when it hurts. You learn more from a broken heart than from 1,000 I love yous. You learn more from being let down than from being lifted up. That sting of betrayal, it teaches you where not to place your trust again. That ache of loneliness, it teaches you the value of your own company. That failure, the one that left you questioning everything, it taught you resilience in a way success never could. Pain introduces you to parts of yourself you never knew existed. You find strength you didn't know you had. You find patience in places you used to rush through. You discover the ability to sit with discomfort and still choose growth. Presence is soft, but pain carves deep, and it's in that carving that character is formed. Think about your biggest lessons. The ones that changed you, the ones that woke you up. Were they born from peace or from struggle? Most of us don't change because everything is going well. We change when we're forced to. When life knocks the wind out of us and we're left gasping, that's when the decision gets made to stay down or to rise. And in rising, you discover that pain doesn't just take, it gives. It gives perspective. It gives grit. It gives purpose. You stop wasting time on people who drain you. You stop apologizing for your boundaries. You stop begging for love that doesn't love you back. Pain turns down the volume of the world and turns up the volume of your soul. It doesn't mean pain is good. It means pain is necessary. Necessary for evolution. Necessary for depth. Necessary for empathy. You can't understand someone else's storm if you've never stood in the rain. And once you've been through your own, you become someone who doesn't just speak strength, you embody it. Presence gives you comfort. Pain gives you depth. And as much as we long for the former, it's the latter that prepares us for life. Because let's be real, life is not a highlight reel. It's not always love songs and late night laughter. Sometimes it's loss. Sometimes it's silence. Sometimes it's waiting with no answer. And if you haven't learned how to endure pain, how to grow in it, how to transform through it, you'll break when it comes. But if you've been there before, if you've made peace with pain, you carry a quiet power, a wisdom that can't be taught in classrooms, a calm that doesn't panic when things fall apart. You've learned that storms don't last, and even if they do, you do. And the beautiful irony, pain teaches you how to appreciate presence when it does return. You stop taking people for granted. You start showing up fully. You hold love more gently. You listen more deeply, because you know what it's like to lose. You know what it's like to miss what you once had. And that knowing, that's the kind of wisdom pain gives freely, if you're willing to learn from it. So don't curse your pain. Don't bury it. Don't pretend it doesn't hurt. Let it shape you. Let it teach you. Let it do its work. One day, you'll look back and realize that the moments you thought were breaking you were actually building you. That the silence wasn't empty. It was sacred. That the pain wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Presence will make you smile. But pain will make you grow. And growth is the point. Growth is the prize. Growth is the quiet triumph that no one sees, but you'll carry it with you for life. We're taught to celebrate beginnings. We throw parties for arrivals. We welcome new friends, lovers, opportunities with open arms. We put all this energy into how something starts, but rarely do we give the same honor to how it ends. We chase the excitement of hello and fear the pain of goodbye. But life isn't just made up of entrances. It's shaped just as much, if not more, by exits. And until we learn to respect the exit as much as the entrance, we'll keep holding on to things that were meant to be let go. Exits don't always come with warning signs. Sometimes the same hand that reached out to you in love pulls back in silence. Sometimes someone walks out of your life so suddenly, it feels like a hole's been ripped in your world. Other times, the ending is slow. Two people growing apart. Two hearts fading until the goodbye is just a quiet understanding. However it comes, an exit is not always a loss. It's not always betrayal. Sometimes it's a necessary shift, a redirection, a clearing of space for something truer. But we don't like endings. We see them as failures. We blame ourselves or blame others. We replay conversations, analyze every moment, wondering what we could have done differently. And while reflection is healthy, obsession is not. There comes a time when the most powerful thing you can do is accept the ending, not with bitterness, but with grace, not with anger, but with respect. Respecting the exit means honoring what it gave you, even if it hurt. It means recognizing the role that chapter played in your story. Maybe it taught you what love really looks like. Maybe it exposed parts of yourself you hadn't yet met. Maybe it broke you in a way that forced you to rebuild stronger. Whatever the lesson, it came wrapped in an ending. That deserves respect. We often stay too long in places we've outgrown because we're too afraid of the quiet that comes after. But nothing grows in stale soil. Nothing healthy stays in a place where the soul is shrinking. If someone or something leaves your life, you have two choices. You can resist it and stay stuck, or you can respect it and move forward. That doesn't mean you have to pretend it didn't hurt. You're allowed to mourn. You're allowed to grieve. But you also need to recognize when the mourning has turned into self-punishment, when the pain is no longer healing you, but holding you hostage. That's when you gently, bravely start to let go. The exit, when respected, becomes a gift, a moment of truth. It forces you to return to yourself, to examine what you need, what you believe, what you value. It strips away the noise and gives you the silence you didn't know you needed. And in that silence, you begin again, not with someone else, but with yourself. Some exits will feel like betrayal. Some will feel like relief. Some will confuse you. Some will free you. All of them, if you let them, will grow you. Because every exit is a doorway to something else. It's not just the end of what was, it's the beginning of what's next. And if you keep facing the closed door, you'll miss the one that's opening behind you. Think about the people you've lost, the friends who faded, the relationships that fell apart, the opportunities that slipped through your fingers. At the time, it felt like the ground disappeared. But look at you now. You survived. You adapt. And maybe, just maybe, you're stronger, wiser, more aligned because of what you walked through. So the next time someone leaves, the next time a chapter closes, remember this. Not everything is meant to last forever. Some people are seasonal. Some lessons come dressed as heartache. Some endings are the best thing that could have happened, even if it doesn't feel like it right away. Respect the exit, like you respected the entrance. Say thank you for the experience, even if it hurt. Honor what it taught you, even if you wish it ended differently. And most importantly, release it, not with resentment, but with reverence. There's power in letting go. There's healing in acceptance, and there's clarity in silence. When someone walks away, they create space for peace, for growth, for the right people to enter. But if you keep chasing after the ones who left, if you keep trying to reopen a closed door, you rob yourself of that space. You can't force people to stay. You can only honor them while they're here and respect them when they go. You can't hold on to every season. Some are meant to pass. You can't rewrite every ending, but you can walk away with dignity. In a world obsessed with beginnings, be someone who honors the end. Someone who knows that exits, while painful, are just as sacred, because the way something ends says just as much about your character as the way it began. So hold your head high, love fully while you have it, and when it's time to let go, do so with strength. Say goodbye with gratitude. Leave the door closed with peace in your heart. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Because life isn't just about who walks in, it's also about how you carry yourself when they walk out. You were born alone for a reason. That truth might sound harsh in a world that constantly glorifies togetherness, relationships, friendships, communities, partnerships. We're taught early on to find our other half, to seek belonging, to connect. And connection is beautiful, but don't mistake it for the core of who you are. At the beginning of it all, before the world made its noise, before anyone told you who you should be, you arrived here on your own, and that means something. It means you came into this world complete, not missing pieces, not half a soul looking for another half, whole. You didn't need a crowd to breathe. You didn't need applause to exist. You didn't wait for someone else to give you purpose. You simply were. And that's the power most people forget they have. Life, over time, will try to convince you otherwise. It will make you think your worth depends on who stays, who loves you, who validates your voice. It will try to make you feel empty when you're alone. But the truth is, some of the most profound moments in your life won't be shared. They'll happen in silence, in solitude, in those raw hours where there's no one to lean on but yourself. You were born alone, so you would learn the art of self-trust, so you'd understand that your intuition matters, that your voice, your vision, your strength, none of that needs external approval. If you don't learn to walk with yourself, you'll always depend on someone else to carry you. And there will be times when no one is around. Not out of malice, not because you're unworthy, but because some roads are yours to walk alone. Those moments, those silent nights, those heavy days, those heartbreaks when no one truly understands what you're feeling, those aren't punishment. They're invitations to meet yourself, to stand still in your own presence and realize you're not as lost as you thought, that you're not as weak as you feared, that deep down, buried beneath the noise of the world, there's a version of you that's unshakable. That version of you doesn't beg to be seen. It doesn't collapse under rejection. It doesn't need constant companionship to feel alive. It knows that solitude is not loneliness. It's sacred. It's where clarity lives. It's where healing happens. It's where your soul gets quiet enough to remind you what really matters. You were born alone to remind you that your journey is yours. Yes, people will join you. Some will walk beside you for years. Others will come and go like passing storms. But no one else is responsible for your direction. No one else is meant to carry your calling. That weight and that wonder is yours alone. The world won't always understand that. People will ask why you don't need the crowd, why you're content with silence, why you're okay being your own company. They'll label it as isolation. But it's not that. It's awareness. It's knowing that depending too much on others to feel full will always leave you starving. True strength isn't found in how many people are around you. It's found in how you hold yourself when they're not. Being born alone also teaches you how to love without losing yourself. It teaches you that love is a choice, not a lifeline. That you can give deeply, care fiercely, and still return home to yourself at the end of the day. Because you're not giving out of desperation. You're not pouring from emptiness. You're rooted. And people who are rooted don't cling. They connect without control. They love without fear. This doesn't mean you're not meant to be with others. We all need connection. We all need love. But we weren't designed to depend on it for our identity. You were given this life as a solo mission first. Every partnership, every friendship, every bond, they're additions to the story, not the entire plot. You are the main character, whether anyone else shows up or not. That's why you need to know how to sit with your own soul, to walk through seasons of loneliness without folding, to find joy in your own presence. Because the world is unpredictable. People change. Circumstances shift. But if you've learned how to be with yourself, truly with yourself, then no storm can shake your foundation. And when you do find your people, your purpose, your place in the world, it won't be out of desperation. It'll be from a place of power. You won't be asking them to fill your void. You'll be sharing your overflow. That's the kind of presence that builds real connection. That's the kind of love that lasts. Not because it's needy, but because it's whole. So the next time you feel alone, remember, you started that way, and you were okay. In fact, you were more than okay. You were strong enough to survive, to breathe, to grow, and that same strength still lives in you. Alone doesn't mean unloved. Alone doesn't mean incomplete. Alone means real. It means raw. It means returning to your roots, to the version of you that doesn't need to perform, pretend, or prove anything. That version is where your power lives. You were born alone for a reason. Not so you'd fear solitude, but so you'd learn to master it. Not so you'd be isolated, but so you'd be unbreakable. Because once you learn how to walk alone, no one can ever make you feel lost again. So, when life quiets down, when the crowd fades, when no one's clapping, and no hand is reaching out, remember this. You started alone, and that wasn't a flaw. It was the foundation. You were made to carry your own weight before anyone could walk beside you. That truth is not meant to harden you, but to free you. Free you from the lie that you need to be completed by someone else. Free you from the fear of being alone. Free you to love from strength, not survival. Because once you've learned to stand in your own presence and still feel whole, no absence can shake you. No departure can destroy you. You were born alone for a reason, and that reason is so you would never forget. You are enough. Always have been. Always will be.